Let's get right into it. Number 10. The call of the void. You're standing on a high balcony, looking at the view. Everything's peaceful. Then, for a split second, your brain thinks, what if I just jumped? This weird, intrusive urge has a fancy French name. L'appel du vide, the call of the void. And it's not just about heights. You might get it while driving and think, what if I swerved into oncoming traffic? Or while holding something sharp. The chilling part is that perfectly happy, mentally healthy people get these thoughts all the time. So what's going on? Scientists think it might be your brain running a bizarre safety check. Your brain thinks, what if we jumped? And then immediately responds, no, that's a terrible idea, reinforcing your will to live. It's like your mind's way of reminding you that you want to be alive by showing you the alternative. But some researchers have a darker theory. They think these thoughts might be your brain's warped way of appreciating life. Like, look how alive we are. We could end it all right now, but we're choosing not to. It's basically your brain being a drama queen to feel more alive. We still don't know for sure why this happens. Scientists have studied this for years, but our brains are keeping the exact reason a secret. What we do know is that you've never followed through on one of these thoughts, because that's not what they are. They're just intrusive ideas that pop up uninvited, like that embarrassing memory from middle school that haunts you at 3 a.m. So next time you're somewhere high up and your brain starts playing what-if games, just remember it's probably normal. Your brain isn't trying to unalive you, it's just being weird, like that one friend who says inappropriate things at funerals. Number 9. Contagious yawning. Just hearing the word yawning might make you want to yawn right now. If you just yawned, congratulations. You're probably not a psychopath. Scientists found that people who don't catch yawns from others tend to score higher on psychopathy tests, likely because the response is linked to empathy. It's like nature's built-in empathy detector. Next time you're on a first date, try yawning and see what happens. If they don't yawn back, maybe hold off on sharing your deepest secrets. This yawn copying isn't just about being tired. You can be fully awake, had your morning coffee, and be ready to take on the world. Then somebody yawns, and suddenly you're doing your best sleepy lion impression. This is so ingrained that even dogs can catch yawns from their owners. That's right, your dog might be more empathetic than some humans. Scientists think it's related to social bonding. Your brain sees someone yawn and goes, oh look, Dave's tired. I'd better yawn too to show we're on the same team. Some researchers suggest it might have helped our ancestors synchronize their sleep schedules. Imagine a cave full of early humans. One starts yawning, and pretty soon the whole clan is getting ready for bed together. You don't even need to see someone yawn to catch it. Just hearing a yawn or even thinking about it can be enough to trigger one. It's like the world's most boring superpower, and science can't tell us exactly why it's so powerful. Number 8. The tip of the tongue feeling. You know the feeling. A word is right there, dancing, just out of reach in your mind. Someone asks you the name of that guy who played Wolverine. You can picture Hugh Jackman's face. You know he's Australian. You remember he was in that movie about magicians. But his name is being held hostage by your own brain. Your mind is playing a twisted game of hide-and-seek with you, and it's winning. Scientists call this the tip of the tongue phenomenon, and it's universal. It happens to everyone, in every language, across every culture. Even sign language users report a similar tip of the fingers feeling, where they know the sign, but can't produce it. It's like having a file cabinet in your head where you can see the folder, you can read the label, but someone's super glued it shut. You're not confused about whether you know it or not. You can often tell people how many syllables are in the word, or what letter it starts with. The maddening part is the harder you try to remember, the more the word slips away, but the second you stop thinking about it and move on, there it is. Your brain only performs when it thinks no one's watching. This happens more as we get older, and it's more common with proper nouns like names and places. Even memory experts get this. You could be a world champion memorizer and still find yourself in your kitchen thinking, what's that thing? The cold box where we keep the food. Number 7. Earworms. You're trying to focus on something important, but your brain decides it's the perfect time to play Baby Shark on a non-stop loop. Welcome to the world of earworms. Scientists call them involuntary musical imagery, but that's just a fancy way of saying that stupid song that won't get out of my head. Your brain isn't even playing the whole song. It's usually just a small snippet, about 15 to 30 seconds long, playing over and over and over again. And it's not always a song you even like. Studies show that simple, repetitive songs are the most likely to get stuck. This is why commercial jingles are basically psychological warfare. The Kit Kat bar jingle has probably tortured more people than actual medieval torture devices. Scientists have theories, but no one knows exactly why this happens. They know certain parts of your auditory cortex light up during an earworm attack, but they can't explain why your brain suddenly becomes a DJ with terrible taste. Some think it's your brain trying to complete a pattern. If you only hear part of a song, Your brain keeps replaying it to find the ending. But that doesn't explain why you wake up at 3 a.m. with the Teletubbies theme song in your head. About 98% of people experience earworms. The average one lasts for about 30 minutes, but some people report having the same song stuck for months. Imagine Who Let the Dogs Out playing in your head for 3 straight months. That's not a mental quirk. That's a supervillain origin story. Number 6. Daydreaming. You're sitting in a meeting, and suddenly your mind drifts off. You're accepting an Oscar, fighting dragons, or finally telling Karen from accounting what you really think of her motivational posters. Then you snap back to reality, wondering where the last 10 minutes went. We spend a shocking 30 to 50% of our waking hours daydreaming. That means for almost half of your day, your brain is running a private, internal Netflix service. And here's the kicker. Your brain often works harder and uses more energy to daydream than it does when you're focused on a real-world task. This brain activity is called the default mode network. It's your brain's screensaver, but instead of bouncing logos, you get entire imaginary worlds, and science can't fully explain its purpose. Some think daydreaming helps us plan for the future, running simulations of conversations or challenges. Others believe it's how our brain processes emotions and consolidates memories, like defragmenting a hard drive, but with more dragons. What we do know is that it seems vital. People who've had brain injuries that stop them from daydreaming report feeling empty, like a part of them is missing. So it's not just a distraction, it's part of what makes us human. Studies suggest people who daydream more might be more creative and better at solving problems. So all those times you were caught staring out the window, you weren't wasting time, you were optimizing your brain's creative potential. Yeah, let's go with that. Number 5. Why we laugh. Your friend tells a terrible pun, and your body's response is to have a series of involuntary, spasmodic convulsions while making a weird, repetitive sound. That's laughter, and it is one of humanity's biggest and strangest mysteries. We know how we laugh. Your diaphragm starts spasming, forcing air out of your lungs. Your vocal cords vibrate, creating that ha 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 sound. Your face contorts. It's basically your body having a very controlled, very pleasant seizure. But we have no idea why. This is our universal response to something being funny. Some theories suggest laughter evolved as a social signal to show others we're not a threat. It's like saying, hey, I'm having such a good time I can barely breathe. I'm definitely not planning to attack you. Others think it's for social bonding, like how chimps laugh to show they're just playing. But that doesn't explain why you laugh when you're alone at 3 a.m. watching cat videos. Laughter is also incredibly contagious. You can start laughing just because someone else is. In 1962, this led to the Tanganyika laughter epidemic. A group of schoolgirls in what is now Tanzania started laughing, and it spread to nearly 1,000 people, lasting for months. Schools had to be shut down. Babies start laughing around 3 to 4 months old, long before they can talk or even sit up. It's a deeply hardwired behavior, and yet, why we do it is still one of science's greatest unsolved punchlines. Number 4. Time dilation during emergencies. You're about to drop your phone. In an instant, the world seems to switch to slow motion. Your phone is floating in the air, performing a graceful ballet on its way to certain doom. In that moment, you have time to contemplate life, regret not buying a better case, and plan your phone's funeral. In reality, it all happens in less than a second. This is what scientists call subjective time dilation, and they have no idea how our brain actually does it. Adrenaline plays a part, sure. When danger hits, your body floods with chemicals that heighten your senses, but that doesn't explain why time itself seems to stretch like a piece of cosmic taffy. Researchers have tried to study this by putting people in terrifying situations, like dropping them from great heights into a net. When they measure people's actual reaction times, they're normal. So while your brain is telling you, I've got all day to catch this falling glass, your body is still moving at regular speed. It seems to be a trick of the mind, not a superpower. The leading theory is that it's all about memory. During an emergency, your brain's memory recording centers go into overdrive. It's like switching your internal camera from standard definition to 4K Ultra HD. Because more details get stored, when you play the memory back later, it feels like it must have taken longer than it actually did. But that's just a theory. Our brain can bend our perception of time, and all our modern science still can't fully explain how or why. Number 3. The need for art and music. Imagine you're an early human. It's been a rough day of not getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. Instead of getting some much-needed rest, you decide to spend hours using precious resources to draw a picture of a buffalo on your cave wall. From a purely survival standpoint, this makes absolutely no sense. Every single human civilization we've ever discovered has made art. From ancient cave paintings to modern TikTok dances, Humans can't stop creating things that have no obvious practical value, and music is even weirder. We spend countless hours of our lives listening to organized noise that does nothing to help us find food or shelter. Your dog isn't starting a garage band, but humans are obsessed. Music affects our brains in ways that defy evolutionary logic. Why does a sad song make us feel a strange sense of comfort? You're literally making yourself feel sad on purpose. It's like paying for a subscription to feel bad, but somehow it helps. Scientists have proposed theories. Maybe art and music helped build community bonds, or maybe it was a way to show off good genes for mating, a peacock's tail for the mind. But that doesn't explain why you cry alone in your room listening to that one song, or why people create art with no intention of ever showing it to anyone. We are compelled to create and appreciate things that serve no direct purpose for our survival. We absolutely need something that, on paper, we absolutely don't need, and science is still completely clueless as to why. Number 2. The need for sleep. Every single night, we willingly enter a bizarre state of paralysis where we become completely vulnerable and defenseless for hours on end. We're basically practicing being dead for a third of our lives, and scientists still can't give us one single definitive reason why. We know what happens when we don't sleep. Your brain turns to mashed potatoes, you start hallucinating, and eventually, you will die. But we don't know the exact core function that makes this nightly shutdown necessary. Evolution decided that becoming totally helpless for 8 hours was a better survival strategy than just staying awake. That's like saying the best way to protect your house is to turn off all the security cameras for the night. Every complex animal sleeps. Even dolphins sleep, but they do it one half of their brain at a time so they can keep swimming. Scientists have theories, of course. Some say sleep is a biological garbage collection service, clearing out toxic proteins that build up in our brain during the day. Others think it's when our brain sorts and stores memories, like a librarian organizing the day's books. But these are just pieces of the puzzle. We can hook people up to machines and watch their brainwaves, but we can't point to something and say, that is the fundamental reason you need to spend 25 years of your life unconscious. And that doesn't even touch the mystery of dreams, a private Netflix service run by your brain that writes, directs, and produces films you can't control and usually can't remember. Number 1. The gaze in the dark effect. Go into a bathroom, turn the lights down low so you can just make out your own reflection, and stare at your face in the mirror. Don't look away. After about a minute, something really weird will start to happen. Your own face will begin to change. Scientists call this the strange face illusion. At first, everything seems normal, but as you keep staring, your brain, starved of clear visual information, starts to play some seriously messed up tricks. Your features will begin to distort and melt. Some people see their face warp into something monstrous. Others report seeing the faces of unknown people, elderly strangers, or even deceased relatives staring back at them. Some see animal-like features or straight-up demons. This isn't a myth. It happens to the vast majority of people who try it. The leading theory is that it's a phenomenon called neural adaptation. Your neurons that are tasked with recognizing your own facial features get tired from staring at the same static image. As they switch off, your brain's pattern recognition system goes haywire and starts filling in the blanks with whatever it can pull from your subconscious. But here's the mystery. This effect is overwhelmingly powerful with faces. You can stare at a chair in the dark all night, and it won't turn into a demon chair, but your brain takes your own reflection and turns it into a horror movie. No one knows exactly why our face recognition system is so prone to this terrifying glitch. So, tonight, if you're feeling brave, you can try it. But be warned, the most unsettling thing you can experience might just be what your own brain is capable of when left alone in the dark. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.